Welcome back to Spartan Tackle Fishing. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the importance of handling a prohibited shark and the dangers of doing so and posting it on social media. Now, towards the middle of this video, I'm going to take a look back in the past to kind of try to explain why Florida has decided to regulate land-based shark fishing the way they have. And the problem is as anglers, if we don't continue to improve, regulations will just continue. Now, towards the end of this video, what I'm going to do, you guys, is essentially go into what I believe that we can do individually as anglers to help preserve our sport. And the problem is, you guys, there's not a lot of things that we can do to do that except worry about ourselves. And also what I'm going to do today, guys, is I'm going to pull up a video that I have recently released that essentially shows us releasing and handling prohibited fish. So I'm going to point the finger at myself. So basically I'm going to ask, what could I have done better to properly handle the fish? And the thing is, guys, what I'm really trying to explain here is moving into 2023 and into the future, as anglers, we really have to be careful. Again, not just because of the public. And the public, the perception is reality. But we also have to be careful with anglers that are in the sport right now. And that's really what motivated me to make this video, you guys. I'm going to show you guys the backstory of why I'm going to point the finger at myself. And it all starts here. So let me show you guys exactly what happened. Now, kind of after I tell you the story, I'm going to talk about essentially solutions. But I posted a video here on this page. This is land-based shark fishing. This is the original land-based shark fishing page, you guys. There's a clown out there that try to copy our page. It is what it is, you guys. There's a lot of hate and there's a lot of misinformation out there. If you guys want clean information with some really good anglers, obviously there's bad apples in here, go to this page. Most of the people are really trying to help other anglers improve. So here's the post that I made that came under fire from someone, you guys. He started tagging FWC. The crazy thing is this guy called me a snitch and then started tagging me on FWC. Maybe I just don't understand the meaning of the word snitch, but it is absolutely crazy what I'm about to show you. But here's the post, you guys. Here's what I said. Check out how this tiger shark came in tangled in leader. The team remained composed and we were able to untangle the tiger shark and dehook it in under 2 minutes, all while having the fish submerged. This is why, in my opinion, having a good team is the most important asset to an LBSF angler. Wish everyone good luck in 2023. Fish clean and cover your butt. The wolves are hungry and circling. I made this post, you guys, essentially trying to show people what to do if they catch a massive fish that's wrapped in leader and tangled. I don't make any money. When I'm making videos, I'm trying to inject it with education and with bare minimal tips that I believe will help the most common land-based shark fishing angler. Now, obviously, I put some music and entertainment in there. Now, being in education for 4 years, you guys, I can tell you that the more entertaining the education is, the more people will listen. And that's just how it works. But the thing is, you guys, I'm out here trying to help the land-based shark fishing community. To handle protected and prohibited species on video takes a tremendous amount of courage or stupidity, but in this case, it takes a tremendous amount of courage because the reality is, in order to try to help you guys, not only do I have to pay for that financially, I also have to expose myself to all of the haters. If I'm going to show people how to dehook and how to handle, I want to show them through an example. But again, it's really hard to do that because there is an overwhelming amount of hate. And I'm not just talking about the public. We have an overwhelming amount of hate for anglers in land-based shark fishing that essentially do not care about the condition of our sport. They preach and they talk, they continue to sell things and clout and post pictures. But at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are trash. And I have people ask me, Travis, why are you still trying to help the community? And the reality is, guys, I have to ask myself that question all the time. And that answer is because I understand that most people in our community are great people. And I am blessed to be living in a state of Texas. Texas fishes like no other state, okay? I get to see firsthand the sense of community, the sense of support. There's a lot of good people trying to protect land-based shark fishing, and to them, it's important to fish clean. And that's why, you guys, I continue to stay in this hot seat. I get ridiculed. I have to pay money. I have to put a tremendous amount of time and effort. And the thing is, guys, I got 4 kids and 3 jobs. I don't have time for this. I'm stepping up because I don't see anyone else stepping up. Sorry for that rant. Let's go back into the backstory so I can show you guys, did I do anything right? Did I do anything wrong? But it all started yesterday with this one person. A little bit about the backstory, guys, about how I was falsely accused of mishandling sharks. It essentially started with this man named William Fundora. Now, the really sad thing here, guys, is, I'm going to admit this guy's an OG. This guy has been around for so long catching fish. And as someone that has been in shark fishing for, less than a decade, I really try to show respect to people that came before me, because why wouldn't I, right? But the problem is, guys, and we're about to see this right now, is this man has a split personality and is all over the place. This guy is the epitome, in my opinion, of perception is reality. People don't think enough. And the problem with this man, you guys, he's stuck in his ways and he doesn't understand. He cannot fathom how important it is to understand public opinion, right? The real problem, obviously, is commercial fishing, but we can't deny public opinion is wrecking us. Now, a little bit of a backstory with William. He put together a tournament that I like to call the Dead Hammer Challenge, okay? The Dead Hammer Challenge. Now, I'm a competitive angler, you guys. It's really hard for me not to want to compete, but the thing is I grew up and I got smarter, and I realized that by holding tournaments, especially in Florida, I'm not talking about Texas, but by holding tournaments in Florida, right, in the middle of tourist destinations, in the middle of the public, it's not going to work. It's not going to work out really well. And essentially, y'all, in my opinion, as a result of this man continuing to push the Dead Hammer Challenge, as a result of all of the bad practices this man preached, we now have additional regulations in the state of Florida. Essentially because some people like him like to push the law to the limit. They like to push the measuring to the limit, dragging the fish on the sand to the limit. And the problem with doing that, you guys, is the more and more people push their luck and violate the law, the more likely it is for Florida or Texas or any other state to pass additional regulations that continue to limit our rights as anglers. So again, you guys, overall, I think it's sad. I would have preferred to make videos with William, staying in the solution. I even talked to this man for 45 minutes on the phone. Extremely difficult conversation, but I sat there, essentially asking myself, what the heck is this guy talking about? I mean, he was rambling for 41 minutes, but I tried to show respect to him, to let him know, dude, I'm on your side, but settle down a little bit. You may want to take a breath, get some sleep, wake up, and understand what you're doing is hurting the sport. Brother, you can't show people that it's okay to falsely report people to the FWC. But regardless, you guys, I'm going to paint the picture to you. I'm going to point the finger at myself and you guys decide. But here's essentially how it happened. So I made the post. Obviously, Thomas was with me. Big shout out to Thomas. This young man is one of the best land-based anglers in the world, and no one knows about him. When I talk about people being the best in the world, to me, what matters as well, I mean, the thing is anyone can catch a big fish, right? To me, what matters is composure, is character, is giving back to the community. And that is why I love him and his crew. I absolutely love those guys. And this is what he says. And he's talking about himself. That kid who untangled the tiger is a sexy AF, okay? So I responded, love how you stayed locked in, okay? And then this guy, William Fundora, he starts going in, talking smack. He puts the picture of a laughing dog. I don't know what it is with grown men posting pictures of little dogs. I don't get why they do that. Is that supposed to be scary? It's a little tiny yapping dog. It's frustrating. I hate little dogs. Where's the German Shepherd? Brother, post a German Shepherd, post a Bulldog. I can't really take you seriously. But let's see what he has to say. Look at this guy. Yeah, but Mr. Finger Pointer Admin, and he's talking about me, is suggesting the shark be rolled to untangle. Wrong. I think this is supposed to be if he cares, but if cares about the protected species survival, he would not be shouting out, roll it. Thank God the kid handling the leader had more sense to not do that. And then I respond, you guys, and I know I get petty. And the reason I'm getting petty, you guys, is because why not? I mean, I'm sick and tired of these trolls. I always go to people first, okay? So I will go to people first almost every single time and try to find the solution. I mean, like almost every single case, if we go back and look at history, I'm actually out there trying something you guys don't all see. But look at, so this is my response. You mean, thank God we weren't pier fishing. He's a huge pier fisherman, guys. Obviously, we understand that when you cut a leader off from a pier, the shark can swim off with a giant leader trailing behind it, right? Or running hammer tournaments. Geez, Mr. Grumpy, why start 2023 out a petty schoolgirl? Go buy some terra firma tackle floats, clown suit, kill some hammers, and hold hands together, circle jerking. So a little bit sharp, you guys, but please shut up already with your rambling nonsense. Truth is, you're clueless, brother. So, I get it. Maybe I shouldn't say that, guys. The reason I even brought up Terra Firma Tackle in this, guys, is he's a huge supporter of Terra Firma Tackle. And I'll go on record here. I believe that Spencer Wonder almost single-handedly destroyed the entire sport of land-based shark fishing in California by continuously fighting enforcement and continuously posting pictures of great white sharks over and over and over for years. And I'll also debate that he is also responsible, at least a predominant amount, for how land-based shark fishing got shut down in Hawaii. So I believe that's really what's going on here, you guys. I believe I hurt his feelings because I said that man is ruining our sport. But regardless, here's his response. Travis Spencer, the truth hurts, brother. Deal with it like a man without disrespecting. Real men don't resort to name calling, but that just shows your lack of maturity. And when I'm reading this, I'm like, dude, you just made a post calling me names. You called me a finger pointer. You called, Mr. Admin. I mean, do you guys see what I'm talking about here? Perception is reality. What's going on in this man's head? And the thing is, guys, I was especially taken back because if I'm going to listen to anyone about handle prohibited sharks, it's not this man. I mean, this is why I was so surprised. I mean, look at how this guy is treating sharks. I mean, there's so much wrong here. Now, I understand this picture is from 2011, but the regulations were still there. You can't delay fish. You surely can't pose with it, put its head up, drag it 10 yards up the beach. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. And that's not all. More pictures. I mean, again, more dragging the shark way up the beach, completely out of the water, using tail ropes. Here's a tape measure. Here's this. They're posing for a picture. Here's a really good one, guys. Drug this lemon all the way up there, posing for the picture once again, measuring the shark. So in other words, you guys, I was a little bit confused what he's talking about. And I'm especially confused what he's talking about when he's saying he wants to talk about the solution, because take a look at this. So Mr. Stay United and Mr. Let's Look Out for Everyone shared a post in his largest land-based shark fishing page. And the thing is, guys, people post big pictures here. I mean, it's kind of like a measuring contest, if you know what I'm talking about, right? They probably all drive big trucks. It is what it is. It's a complete joke. There's absolutely no help in there, in my opinion. But this is what he says, right? Should we point out on social media every mistake Florida land-based shark fishermen make? In my opinion, is counterproductive in this video. There are multiple mistakes, borderline breaking of FWC shark regs. See if you can find them. So he posts a picture of me. Moments later, he actually changes the title of the video. And at this point, you guys, obviously this guy is extremely triggered. I've heard a lot of rumors how he has a split personality. I mean, this is the reason why we can't lean on people. I mean, one hand, he's saying, stay united, look out for each other. And then he goes to his own page, starts pointing the finger, tagging FWC, saying, to report me. I mean, at least that's how I'm reading it. I mean, this is absolutely shocking. So moments later, in his fit of rage, he responds this. This man is on a rampage to hurt Florida land-based shark fishermen. Should we point out on social media every mistake Florida land-based shark fishermen make? In my opinion, and he goes into the blah, 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 blah again. And take a look at this guy. He continues. And again, I'm not tagging people's names. I made a video about Spencer Wonder because it's the facts and it's the truth, at least how I see it. But he's not from Florida. So I don't know what this guy is talking about. I can drop names. I'm dropping Williams' names. I'm telling you guys, be careful for this guy. He may report you for FWC if he has a fit of rage. But this is what he's saying. This man, Travis Spencer from Texas, is on a rampage to trash Florida land-based shark fishermen by pointing out on his Facebook page every mistake on social media by a Florida sharker, but he offers no solutions. Instead, he is ill-intended and a bad apple in our sport. And again, William, what are you talking about? Whose name did I mention in Florida? Are you okay? What's wrong with this man? This guy is worse than public opinion. Perception, you guys, is reality. What is he talking about? I really feel like there's someone in his head, just puppeting him. But I did dig a little bit deeper because I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Is he an absolute maniac or is there some truth to what he said? I'm going to show you guys what I believe he's talking about here in a minute, but he goes on. Here we have Mr. Perfect Finger Pointer, but dude, aren't you the one that's pointing your finger? I don't know. Is he talking to me or is he talking about himself, you guys? I think he's talking about me, but it appears he's talking about himself. I don't understand at this point, but I'm going to continue reading. Here we have Mr. Finger Pointer in his YouTube video at 1 minute and 40 seconds, and I'm going to go there in a minute, with a protected species sandbar shark high and dry, up the sand, and a few other violations of FWC shark fishing regulations. Yet he continues to bash every Florida-based shark fisherman he can find on the internet. Again, William, dude, take a break, man. Like, go on vacation. I don't know what's going on in your life right now. I have no idea what you're talking about. I got 4 kids. I got 3 jobs. I don't have time, to babysit, quite frankly. I mean, we're headed into a recession, obviously, right? I'm trying to work like an absolute animal to stay ahead of the unaffordability. I don't know what this guy's talking about, but let's continue. The sport of land-based shark fishing in Florida has been evolving over the last 5 years. There have been new FWC regulations and suggestions for best practices and fishermen handling large sharks on beaches, but we walk a fine line between what is legal and illegal since the new laws went into effect 2018. The thing is, guys, is they didn't go into effect 2018. They clarified the law in 2018 and then added a certificate. The law has always been this way. They had to clarify because of people like him. It is what it is, guys. I mean, how do you not see that, William? How do you not see that, buddy? I don't get it, man. I mean, keep your head in the sand. I guess it's just easier to live life. They say ignorance is bliss. There's probably a reason they say that. We as a small community need to help each other out with suggestions and ideas of how to better practice our sport. But Travis Spencer has chosen to bash and criticize. Here's the thing, you guys. William, again, I say, brother, what are you doing? How are you helping? Make a video, show people how to angle, show people how to land fish, explain it to people. But all you do, brother, is ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble. And quite frankly, pretty much the entire community knows this at this point. I mean, we all know that this man has a split personality and he can't be trusted, in my opinion. But let's continue. As far from law abiding, we see him in this video with quite a few mistakes of his own. We need to protect and defend our sport, not destroy it. Okay. For the sake of the sport, can someone in his camp or group please ask him to stop bashing Florida shark fishermen? It goes on. Essentially, I say, thank you, William. I appreciate it. I want to be held accountable, so I'm going to hold myself accountable. But essentially, I'm saying you helped give me an idea for my next video. It's a deep dive into your recommendations. 2023 is going to be a fun year. Obviously, I posted this. He's saying mess around and find out. I mean, what am I going to find out, William? That you're worse than I thought you were? I mean, I don't think that's possible, brother. I mean, but I'm here to find out. You're not important to me. The people that are important to me are the people that are actually trying and bettering themselves. You, sir, are completely delusional, in my opinion. But look at, then he goes on and he posts this high and dry FWC protected sandbar shark. So even though the shark is in the water, and I'm about to show you guys that, he's saying that it's high and dry. Again, you guys, this man is saying that I violated laws and the shark is high and dry. Let's move on to the video now. But before I do, I just real quick, guys, once again, I want to explain my definition of high and dry. My definition of high and dry is not still being in the water. I guess that's his definition. This is my definition of high and dry. William, is this high and dry? Can someone ask him, is this high and dry? I'm just trying to get the definition here, you guys, but let's get back into the video. Okay, so here's the video. This is 140. I think he's a little bit off on his time, but that's all right. I get what he's trying to say. So let's watch this, guys, and see what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, here it is, guys. So I think what William meant is 8 seconds. So I'm going to go to the 8-second video. Now, remember what he said, you guys. The shark is high and dry. We're violating FWC. Again, isn't it sad how perception is reality? All right, let's pause it right here. Now, here's where it starts. It starts actually where a shark is a little bit higher. You guys can see like right here, that's where the shark was. Do you see that indentation right here? Now, I'm not a scientist, but let me briefly explain how the water works and how surf works in waves, okay? Now, what you're gonna notice here is this is what's called the water line right here, okay? This is a slight incline down. Now, what happens is when waves hit, it actually does what's called pushes things up on the beach. So again, you guys, someone may want to explain this to William. Maybe he forgot how the surf and the tide works, but that's what it's looking like here. Now, let's say the shark was right here. Even though right now, when the video starts, the shark is clearly in the water. Okay, is this high and dry? If you look at the tide line right here, the shark's here, we're about 10 feet under the tide line. So, I don't know, you guys, maybe I just don't understand his definition of high and dry once again, especially because he's got a whole bunch of dead sharks lying on the beach, right? but that's not high and dry. Now, having said that, let me take this as an opportunity. And again, guys, we don't have to just worry about people within our own community. We also have to worry about the public because everyone's got cell phones. There's drones everywhere. But what happens as anglers is, obviously when we're dehooking a prohibited fish, we are supposed to keep that fish submerged in water. The really big challenge here, guys, and the public won't understand this, William won't understand this, but when we're in the process of dehooking, a lot of the times it will push the shark further up on the beach to where the gills are no longer submerged. The reason I'm telling you guys that is be careful. Whenever there's people around, we try to be extra careful because we don't know who those people are and we don't know how they're going to use the content that they get against us. In other words, you guys, just be aware that sometimes where you start dehooking, a few seconds later, that shark could be a little bit higher on the beach. Okay. And that's the point I want to make, but let's jump back into the video just to see what else I've done wrong. All right, let's continue. Okay, straight into the water looks like here. I guess, going back there, we could have pushed it out more, but again, I just don't see what he's talking about. He made a bunch of bold claims, a bunch of false claims, all this public shaming. I just don't see it. Let's move on to the tiger shark. All right, so a little backstory on this tiger shark. First of all, it's huge and everyone's adrenaline is bumping. And also, guys, I'm the cameraman, which makes it even harder to make these videos because whenever I'm the cameraman, I can't help angling and I want to jump in there so bad. But what's happened here is this big tiger shark has been wrapped in the leader. And you can kind of see that right here. It's mega wrapped in the leader. Now, I know Will would probably suggest that we pull this shark 20 yards onto the sand, pose with it, take some pictures, hold its mouth open. But as anglers, you guys, we decided to keep this prohibited species clearly submerged in the water, right? Putting our own self in danger, and still we get ridiculed. Do you guys see why it's so hard for me to want to keep helping and showing you guys how to do this? I mean, I get no appreciation and I have to pay for it. Again, I'm remembering all the great people that I've met over the years. There's great families, and that's what I'm really holding on to here. But let's start, okay? So obviously we all run out to the water. Our plan is if we can't untangle this fish, we're gonna start cutting. Let's see what happens. Okay, so, as a cameraman, what I'm thinking right now is like we're wasting time. I'm getting a little bit nervous. Why isn't it getting unwrapped? You guys can see right here, Thomas, this man right here, like I said, you can't see it. Let me see if I can move my picture over. There we go. So Thomas right here, which again, you guys, this is one of the best kids I've ever met. He was trained by Dan, really, really admirable kid, has a tremendous amount of integrity. And I can guarantee you this guy is probably the top 3 as far as catching the biggest fish in the world. The difference with him and most anglers is he really doesn't care about the clout. He enjoys the experience and the adventure, and I love him for that, and he will always be one of the best to me. But he's on the leader, and what they're trying to do, what Thomas is trying to do is he's trying to unwrap this tiger shark. What's happening, though, is the leader is getting caught underneath the fins, okay? So they're struggling with it. I'm starting to get impatient. Let's play a little bit. Okay, so at this point, you guys, I'm getting a little bit frustrated. Again, I can't get in there. I'm the cameraman. I want to get in there and take the leader myself. I see it's too high, and I yell out to Julian, roll the tiger shark. And, Will, and obviously Will made the comment that if I cared about the shark, I wouldn't say roll it. But the thing is, guys, that's exactly what I said. And thank God I did because it worked. Now, I think what he thought is I meant roll it, maybe like a cigarette or something, like roll it over and over. But our team is so professional and so good. We know what each other is saying. What I am saying is roll it far enough up to get the leader out from underneath its fin. So let's continue. So he rolls it. You see that? Boom, he rolls it like that. He's able to get it around this fin. You guys can see now he just has to pull it around here. So watch what happens next. The wave hits it, boom, puts it right back under. Thomas pulls the leader. He's going back around. He's trying to get it under the fin. He gets it under the fin. It's still stuck on the other fin. Julian pulls it up slightly, gets it untangled. I yell at Julian, jump on the shark to help Thomas. He jumps on the shark. It's untangled. Now, here's the thing. So you guys can hear me say, cut the leader, cut the leader. On my team, okay, a lot of you guys don't know this. Julian is Mr. Dehooker. This guy wants to be the best dehooker on planet Earth. So what I do as someone that keeps my team accountable is I constantly yell out, cut the hook. Because he knows if he can't quickly get a hook out, I'm going to cut it, right? Because of the law, because one of the things that I do on my team is I make sure that my team and I are as safe as possible. But check this out. right? So I'm telling him to dehook, but this guy's too much of a beast. He's like, I'm not going to dehook. I'm going to use my hands. Look. Okay, so he falls off a little bit. He gets back on, moves the shark. Okay, there's the hook right there, right? This guy's a beast. Look, boom, out. Crazy, right? So boom, dehooked. Video goes on. Everyone's still kind of like, oh my God, did we really just dehook it? You guys, we untangled this and dehooked it, submerged in about 40 seconds. And I still get an over, and then still there's hate. I don't understand. You know, when you do things like this, you can, pull the pictures off of the video. So, I basically pulled a whole bunch of pictures off for Julian so that we got the fish back into the water quickly. We did not take additional pictures. At least I didn't. Again, I'm the cameraman here. But I mean, we're pushing it out. I guess one thing we could have done differently, guys, is not pull the shark backwards. A lot of study has gone into when we do this right here, it can suffocate the shark. So, maybe that's one thing that we could have done better. But you guys, also, I'm about angler safety as well. And sometimes it's just not safe to do it. But I would say that would, be something that we could improve on. When all is said and done, when I look at what William was saying, when I go back to this, I think what we're dealing with is an old man that's absolutely triggered, that probably has a borderline personality disorder, and he wanted to embarrass me and act like I was doing the wrong things when the same person has fundamentals that are no longer efficient, right? And those fundamentals are this. And I get that we want to fight for our rights, right? We do want to fight for our rights as land-based shark fishermen. But you guys, I'm telling you, this is so important. You have to understand that public opinion and corporate greed is extremely real and extremely powerful. And if you guys follow people that are stuck in their ways like that, all that's going to happen is more and more mistakes are going to be done, and you're not going to stay in the solution. So let's talk a little bit about the solution. Now, I first want to say this, right? Because some people think, oh, Travis, you're a hypocrite, or, oh, you don't want to kill animals. You guys know how many animals that I've shot? I'm not saying that I'm proud or not proud of that. You guys, I have butchered and massacred so many animals at my youth. Literally behind me, you guys can see it. That's a mountain lion right there. I don't care. Harvest the fish. The reason I don't harvest the fish, shark tastes like crap. That's why, you guys. But I also enjoy helping people. I also enjoy helping scientists with tagging and things like that. So again, you guys, I really just think that, maybe it was William on a bad day, but I definitely want to take this an opportunity to say that I think his fundamentals and I think his principles are outdated and not effective. And the thing is, guys, is overall, this is a sad situation, again, because he's an OG. He's an OG. He's been doing this a long time, you guys. And, as an angler that actually generally does care, that wants to live life respecting people and loving people, it's sad to me because I want to show him respect. But the thing is, guys, is I can't. How do I do that when someone starts, when someone appears to be reporting me to FWC, he's contradicting every single thing he's saying. And in my eyes, he's one of the main reasons why we have redefined regulations in Florida. Again, you guys, going back to being a hypocrite, allow me to explain the differences in Texas and Florida, okay? The thing with Texas is, guys, I love it here. To me in Texas, we fish differently. To me, it's more about the adventure. But in Texas, we essentially have hundreds and hundreds of miles of raw land with no tourism in place where we can do whatever we want. The unfortunate thing about Florida is it's not like that. When you fish in Florida, you fish around tourist destinations generally, and you're at risk of corporate greed and overwhelming public hate, okay? And that's why I talk differently when it pertains to Texas and Florida, two totally different states. And if you guys are from Texas and you go to Florida, understand that, yes, in my opinion, it's way easier to fish in Florida overall, but it's way harder in Florida to enjoy the type of fishing because we're always under attack. Now, in conclusion, I think we all understand that the real problem here as far as depleted resources and outfishing comes from commercial fish. I'm sure all of us can agree on that, but I need you guys to think a little bit further and also understand that public perception and corporate greed is a very real thing and a very powerful thing. And as a result of those things, we need to do an extra big effort to keep ourselves and our team safe and clean when fishing. Now, as far as what you can do individually to help preserve land-based shark fishing, I mean, the reality is, guys, is unfortunately, there's gonna be bad apples in the sport. There's really not a lot we can do about that. Now, I don't believe that we should go reporting anglers to the FWC that are violating laws. The reason I don't think that is I believe as members of the community, we should always, always, always go to the angler first to try to help them understand what they're doing wrong and find a solution, right? And if that doesn't work, maybe make a video about it. I don't know, but at this point, I definitely don't think that's a good idea. But what you guys can do, each and every person that wants to do something to expand our support, all you guys need to do is continue to improve. Love what you're doing. Teach your children how to fish and understand that you as an individual angler matter, and understand that just one person can ruin it for the rest of us. So if you guys are out there, remember, have fun, fish clean. You guys be careful what you're posting on social media. Be careful what you're looking at to learn how to fish. There's a lot of outdated practices out there. There's a lot of misinformation, but do not forget, you guys, show the public, show the world how awesome land-based shark fishermen really are.